Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Southwestern Sports Show. We had a great week of action in SWOSU sports, and we're ready to catch you up on the action again. Who's your Bulldogs of the week?
So this week's Bulldogs of the week, we're going to start off with volleyball senior Emma Kohler, who set new career highs last Wednesday during her senior night with 19 kills and 10 digs. This also made it her first career double-double. We also recognize baseball senior Keyshawn Smith for this week's Bulldog of the week. He absolutely just dominated East Central this past weekend, recording 3 hits, all for home runs, all just in 2 games. Pretty impressive.
Man, was swinging.
Yes, like that's next level of talent.
Yeah. All right, what do you have for us this week?
So the women's soccer team lost in overtime to East Central 3-2 just this past Saturday. The Lady Dogs was up 2-0 pretty much the whole game, but East Central rallied back to win and pull it away by 1 point. The Lady Dogs also opened up conference play versus Snoop next Saturday at home. The women's volleyball team didn't have any action this past week, but they opened up the GAC tournament tomorrow, actually, against Northwestern Oklahoma State.
Let's hope they can make a little run. Maybe win that tournament for us.
We need Emma to
Yeah, we
do
do.
another crazy performance, man.
She showed up on senior.
I'm about to say it must be nice, like for your best performance to be on senior night.
That's right,
That's tough.
with all the eyes watching.
That's what a way to go out in.
How the baseball and softball teams do.
So the softball team, Lady Bulldogs, they was actually busy this week. They started off with a 3-game series against ECU. They unfortunately fell short in the 3-game series, 2-1. The first 2 games, which was a doubleheader, the ladies fell 2-8 in game 1, but won game 2, 4 runs to 2. Final game of the series, they fell short in a hard-fought battle, 4-5. For the ladies, they finished up their week facing off against our rival Northwestern, where they unfortunately came up short, 10-11. You know, the ladies just still searching for their identity, you know, things of that nature. So we just
Still learning.
you know, still learning. It's been tough. It's been tough. Now on to the men's. The men's looking back to get back on track after, you know, falling short their last couple of games last week. But you know how they is. They usually start hot, then they tend to like fall off, then they come back with another win streak. So
It's inconsistent, man.
you know this
Stay
though.
consistent.
The guys, they also hosted a 3-game series against ECU this past weekend. First game of the series, the men's brought in 12 runs and an impressive win. The next 2 games of the series, which was double hitters, they also scored double-digit runs, also bringing in 2 more wins, making it 3 games in a row, as we expected, just like we were just talking about.
Yeah.
But they're now looking to extend 4 games in a row. The men's finished off their week against the University of Science and Arts, where they scored 13 runs. So that means in 4 straight games, they scored double-digit runs. That's pretty impressive. Extending their win streak to 4 in a row. And also another thing about these guys, this is their second 4-game win streak this season.
Okay.
I mean, you got hats off to them. You gotta give it to them. It's a lot of respect.
We need that 5th game, y'all. Let's do
Looking
it.
forward for y'all to bring in 5 in a row.
You know, they may be streaky, but they give us something to talk about.
Yeah.
Dude.
All right, so you have an interview this week, right?
Yeah, I do actually. This week I actually got to sit down with football star Jordan Alford. We actually got to sit down and talk about some things about this semester and how this spring was different from normal spring due to COVID and everything. We just got to catch up on some things, basically, you know, because most athletes usually use the spring to use the spring to recover, catch up with school, you know, work on certain things, get better in certain aspects. So it was really challenging this spring for certain athletes, especially football, because this is a semester when they usually use to get everything together. So I wanted to sit down with him and, you know, get more detail on how things has been going and how COVID really affected them. So today we're going to be interviewing Jordan Alford, asking him a few questions about football this semester and how things have changed since COVID. So the first question will be, with COVID coming around last semester and shutting everything down, canceling the all season, and making this spring a lot different from a normal spring, how would you say things have changed and been affected?
Well, I would say things have changed drastically. I would say we've had a lot of restrictions that we usually wouldn't have, and a lot of I want to say we wouldn't have a lot of access to a lot of things that we normally would have. In reference to like wait times, like typically we'd be working out, getting better throughout the spring, but everything's spaced out with all the COVID restrictions.
Well, as you guys all heard, it was been kind of tough for football this semester. Things been kind of spaced out. Everything's been adjusted due to COVID, as we all expected. But it's good to see football team still working hard. Pushing, striving to be better. So we're gonna ask you the final question of this interview will be, how would you explain your semester with everything changing and all that? Do you feel like you like actually handled things well? Do you feel like your performances could have been better on the practice field? And tell me a little bit about the game against Fort Hays when you guys traveled.
Okay, so getting back into things was a big adjustment. Personally, I think I adapted, and at times I lost focus because of what was going on outside of football and everything else going on in this world. This spring, I personally think I did a decent job. I made some plays, but I feel like there's more plays to be made. There's always how can I put this? You can always get better. There's no limit to your potential. Against Fort Hays, personally, I believe we did good on defense. We had a lot of stops. We forced turnovers a lot. We just couldn't seem to move the ball downfield or score or really get the offense in a groove. And the Fort Hays scrimmage was an eye-opener for the team to highlight the weak points within our team.
Here first, where you hear it. That's all for today. Once again, we had special guest Jordan Alford. I want to say thank you and appreciate you taking your time out your day to come here on the show, and have a blessed one.
Thank you for the support. Go Dogs.
Man, the COVID must be hard on these athletes, but they sure are handling it well.
Yeah, for sure. It definitely, especially with a lot of games being postponed, most importantly, they not having a support system, no fans. It's kind of tough out there.
It's definitely a different environment. Well, I'm covering golf this week. The men's team did not play, but the women's team were in action yesterday and today at the Newman Women's Invitational. To check on those scores, go to SWOSUathletics.com. The track and field team was in action last week. Sabrina Hubanks and Annie Hopp both had first place finishes in javelin and high jump, respectively. Sabrina's toss of 31.27 meters actually set a new school record, but she wasn't the only one. Alexis Chow in pole vault, Elise Forbes in long jump, and Tajay Jones in hammer throw all broke SWOSU records.
That's tough.
Congratulations.
Hopefully they can continue it, because the track and field team will be back in action in Wichita for their final event for the GAC Championships, April 9th and 10th.
Good luck. Good luck.
That's about 4 different broken records.
That's right. They're showing out.
Yeah.
We actually have another interview to do today. We have SWOSU women's basketball player Regan Crawford here to talk about basketball and what else she does. Hello, everyone, and welcome. We have a special guest this week. We have Regan Crawford from the SWOSU women's basketball team here today to answer some of our questions. So let's get started. How did you get started in basketball?
So I know a lot of people say this, but I really kind of grew up with it because my dad has been a basketball coach my whole life. and he kind of he runs like a training company, like a club team. And so I grew up like traveling around like in the gym. Like I have a picture of me like going to OSU camp when I was like 3 years old, just like following these older girls around. And so it kind of just came natural when I was like just around my dad and around my family. That was just what it was. Like we would start playing basketball. And I actually have 3 sisters who are younger than me who all play basketball as well. And so it kind of just became a family thing. And like that's where we'd spend time together, was in the gym. So I don't know. It's really a family thing, and it's one of our favorite things to do together is like be in the gym together. So
is there a bit of a sibling rivalry there?
yes, actually, so I'm the oldest, and so growing up, it's easier for the older one to beat around on the younger ones, But I have a sister that's 2 years younger than me, and then a sister that's a sophomore in high school, and then my other sister is a fifth grader. And so actually the sophomore and the senior in high school are both like 2 to 3 inches taller than me now. And so it's like now they can play with me a little more, and they're both really good too. So it's really fun to just like, play one-on-one, play in the gym together, because I think we've really pushed each other to be as good as we can be. And I always say that they would not be as good as they are if they didn't have me beating up on them when they were younger. So
Absolutely. Speaking as the youngest, I can say that my brothers have helped me tremendously
that's good to hear.
just by being little pests. So,
Right.
all right. What about when did you know that you were good enough to play at the next level?
Well, this is kind of funny, but my dad used to train some girls from the WNBA, and like they're like phenomenal girls, right? And so I'm in fifth grade. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to play in the WNBA someday. Well, I only grew to be 5'7", so that is obviously not in the cards for me. But I always knew I wanted to play in college for sure, and I knew that I was capable of doing that if I put in the work. And so I think I finally started getting excited about playing college in my freshman or sophomore year, like traveling to like exposure events and stuff. And so I think at that point, like when I got into high school was when I really like turned up my training, and I was like really committed, like I want to go somewhere good and play and like be a part of a good team. So.
All right. And you mentioned the WNBA. Do you follow the WNBA a lot with your?
I watch it some. It's in the summer, and so I don't spend that much time watching TV, but I do like I have a few people that I like to keep tabs on and just see like what's going on. My dad doesn't work for them anymore, and so I'm not really as connected with them. But when I was younger, I was really into it. So, but I love watching Division I college women's, which that national championship was the other night, and that was really an awesome game. So.
It was. I didn't know much about it. And I was reading about, they were talking about the stars and everything. And it was always, they were like Russell Wilson's sister. Right. But she balled out. She has quite the story.
Yeah, there's some great players on those teams for sure.
Yeah. And Paige Buchers, is that it?
Beckers, yeah. She's phenomenal too.
I knew nothing about her, and then I seen some highlights on Sports Center, and I caught a game. I think I caught the UConn Iowa game, and she's quite the player.
She is phenomenal for sure. She's about the same age as my sister that's right under me. And my sister that's under me is going to play at Tulsa. And so up until this year, UConn was in the same conference as Tulsa, but they actually just switched. And so she was really bummed because she was like, I could have played against one of like the best players ever.
Yeah.
But they switched conferences, but that's still pretty cool.
All right. So what about WNBA, NBA? Is there any players that you modeled your game after, you looked up to?
I would say there's a girl named Glory Johnson. She played for Tennessee, and then she ended up playing for the Tulsa Shock for a while. But she had like a great jump shot. Like she could get to the rim. She just like, there wasn't really like an aspect of her game that like you could be like, okay, she can't do that. We can't guard her there. And so I think one thing that I always like I wanted to be was like an all around like good offensive player. Like, you sometimes see people who can't like shoot the three, so you can like help off and then you can take away other parts of their game. And I wanted to be able to like shoot the three, have a good mid-range jump shot, and be able to get to the rim and then make my free throws, obviously. And so like just those having all 4 levels, like, and being able to watch her, like the way she trained at all 4 levels of that and was good at all 4 was something that I want to model my game after, I guess you could say. So
All right, so if you had to pick one thing, the best part of your game, what would it be?
I'd say my jump shots, because I don't think a lot of girls can just get open on, like, in the mid range like I can, and so my coach actually tells me I need to be using that a lot more than I do. So that's my focus this summer is focusing on having someone guard me and really using it more, because it definitely is the best part of my game and I don't use it enough.
Yeah. All right. What about best basketball related memory?
I have a lot of great memories here at SWOSU, but one that really comes to my mind was my senior year of high school. We won the state championship, and I had my sister on my team, and my dad was the assistant coach that year. And so it was kind of like a family thing. And it was like the first time in like 50 years that my school had won a state championship. And so it's just crazy because not a lot of people get to like end their high school career winning a game. And so that was my favorite, just because like I said, I grew up playing with my sisters. And so being able to do that like with her was probably my favorite memory.
Yeah. Okay. What about outside of basketball interests? What else do you do?
Well, I love running. I ran track in high school, and so I really enjoy like just going on runs every once in a while. And then my family is they like hunting and fishing and that type of thing. And so aside from being in the gym growing up, my dad would always take us hunting and fishing, and obviously basketball season and hunting season kind of cross over. And so I don't have as much time anymore to do that. But when I do have time, I love just being outside. So yeah.
Okay. What's your degree? What are you going for?
I'm in the business side of things right now. So my major is business management, but I'm hoping to eventually go to law school. And so that stuff really interests me. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. Business, and then hopefully law school after that.
What's the dream law school? What's the number one pick if you could go anywhere?
If I could go anywhere, I would say Pepperdine. I don't know if you know where that is, but it's in Malibu, and it's like right on the beach, and it's so expensive, but it's beautiful, and it's a really great school for like international law. But realistically, I'll probably end up going to OU just because I obviously love Oklahoma. So
OU gets a lot of the law students in the area, that's for sure.
I think it's a great law school too. But
all right. If you could tell a younger you one thing about yourself, what would it be?
Yeah, I would say that you can be better than you think you can. So I'd say that have more confidence in yourself, and yeah, I would just say have more confidence in yourself, because you can do better things than you think you can. So
All right. Last question, I think. Don't hold me to that.
okay.
How was playing basketball and going to college harder, easier than you expected? What was that like?
I think it's a big transition for most freshmen, because you go from being like one of the best or the best on your team and the best that you play against in high school to being like just middle of the pack when you come in, and you've got to like earn your spot again. You have to learn what your coaches expect of you. And so I think freshman year was really hard for me just to make that transition of like I'm one person, I like to know the whole game and understand my role and everything. And like coming in as a freshman, you don't really have a role. Like you've got to find your role, figure out what like your job is going to be on this team. And so it definitely was hard, but I don't know. Do you know who Tyra Aska is? She played here. Yeah. So I had to play against her in practice every day my freshman year. And I was like, I'm terrible. Like this girl's so good. I can't guard her. Like, and my coach was just kept telling me like, this is going to make you so much better. This is going to make you so much better. And then like coming back this year, I just feel like I'm like a whole new player, because of like, she pushed me so much, and like, she didn't take it easy on me. Like she made me work hard every single day. And so I'm really thankful for that, because I know that I would not be like I wouldn't have been able to elevate my game as much like between this year and last year if I hadn't like had that opportunity to go against one of the best players like in Division II every single day. And so it definitely was a transition, but like my teammates made it much easier. And I mean, I've definitely settled in this year. So
Yeah. All right. I know I said last question. I can't end without asking this. Why SWOSU?
why SWOSU? Well, I went on several visits before, and like I was kind of like, I don't know where I want to go. I was actually thinking about committing to another school, and then my summer coach called me and was like, I really think you need to check out SWOSU. Like their coach was just talking to me, like I think you'd fit in really well with like their style of play. And so I came on the visit, and I just like fell in love with all of the girls that were here, the coaches. I loved the atmosphere when I was walking around, like the community, and talking to some of the girls, like just obviously the community has supported them so much. And I just love the feel of Western Oklahoma. Like I've lived in Oklahoma my whole life. And I just think the community was a big reason, but also just how awesome and how much I feel like I fit in with the girls that were here. And so, and obviously they're a phenomenal basketball program, and I wanted to go somewhere and I wanted to win. And so that was also another big factor. So
Winning is always nice.
yes, it is.
Well, I think that's it for me. Thank you so much for being on the show, everyone. Again,
for
this is
having me.
Regan Crawford, and watch out for her next season because she's gonna start using that jump shot more.
Yeah, hopefully.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
All right, I think that's it for us. Thank you guys for watching again this week. This is the Southwestern Sports Show, and I'm Logan here for Mention Zion, and we'll see you next week.
Peace.